West, y'all.
I think this weekend they're doing the Rangitoto.
Rangitoto swim, yeah.
Rangitoto to St. Heli, isn't it?
Yeah, 4.5K.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I've done it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
What?
Shows Samoans can do it even though we swim like rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, because I can't, to me it's scary. Because, I know swimming laps and pools.
Yeah.
But you're talking about currents, you're talking about waves,
Yeah.
I'm probably not big waves like, because we're talking about the harbour here, but 4Ks.
Oh, it can get quite
rough,
rough in the middle. Yeah,
shucks.
yeah.
Because she was explaining to me, like, sometimes when you're swimming those long distance in open water, like, you can get disoriented.
Yeah. I look where the light's coming from. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. If the sun's that way and then suddenly you're going that way, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, but normally because I'm one of the last ones, there's plenty of support.
Yeah.
And, my motto is always finishing is winning. So it doesn't matter how long it takes me. People, what about the sharks? Look, New Zealand sharks are vegetarians, okay? When's the last time you heard of a shark killing, apart from that accident out at West Auckland? I mean, otherwise, there's no shark attacks killing men in the harbour. So.
Well, that's a good point, because when you hear a shark attacks in open sea, like East Coast or West Coast, but in the harbour,
in Australia, yeah.
Like, what kind of sharks come in harbour? Just vegetarians?
They talk about Marcos and some big sharks and that,
but they don't eat red meat.
I'm saying the vegetarians, man. Like I'm an accountant, so I do a lot of things that are risk based.
Yeah.
Like went to our accountant's dinner, and oh man, it's so hard finding a car park. I parked in a bus stop because it's after 6 o'clock, and meter maids aren't around at that time. So risk based parking. So I like swimming.
Yeah. So when was that? When was that swimming? The Rangitoto one?
Rangitoto swims is done every year. So I started my swimming endurance career sort of similar time I did my my marathons. About you turn 40, and then the Palangi running crew that go every Wednesday, and they invite you along, and you're right at the back. But it's a point run, so it didn't matter how long I took, because when I saw them already coming back, then I just turn around and come back.
Oh, okay.
So I was 40 working at ADHB as a management accountant, and they said, why don't you come along and do the run, because they used to have round the bays, and I used to run in the ADHB work team, because they would always have a good barbecue after.
All right.
Because we celebrate through food. Our Pacific. I mean, there's the event, and there's the big rah people coming first and all that. But if you just I enjoy the company, the camaraderie, and the special, award I give myself. I say, I'm the first Samoan finisher again. Okay, so it didn't matter where I came in the race. I'd normally be the only Samoan, and the good thing is, when I started age 40, now 17 years later, there's a lot more Samoans now. So I've just enjoyed the journey. From running my first Rotorua marathon, and it would be 2006. Yeah. No one tells you what gear to wear, or use Vaseline, or don't wear a lava. I thought, hey, I'm representing my people. I'll run in a lava. So for 42K running around the lake, then getting major chafing, and I could just the pain of it. And then about K or so from the finish, there's a group of Maoris by the museum drinking. This is like in the middle of the day. I was going, hey, you got a spare beer there? They gave me a beer, and it's just the best feeling. So, my finishing line photos got me drinking a beer across the finishing line in a lava. So that was the start of my endurance career. Yeah.
All right. Because the way I found out about you was through a mutual friend of ours, Bethany, who I work with at work, and she's hard out into running and triathlon and all that. Like she's a beast.
Yeah.
You've seen her. You've seen how small she is.
Yeah.
And she just, on a kind of Spain, she's got that athlete mentality, like Michael Jordan mentality when it comes to being the best at your sport. Like she has that kind of thing. So at work, we were always like, okay, she's the athletic one, She's always entering the competitions, always running. She comes up to me one day and goes, "Oh, you should talk to one of my friends. He's Samoan guy. His name's Michael Stowers. Iron Mike. Go look up Iron Mike on Instagram and have a look. You should get him on your podcast. Blah blah blah." And he goes, "Oh yes, I looked you up." And she was telling me just the background of what she knew, and I was thinking, man, this guy like a David Goggins of Samoa. But no, man, it was so cool. It's so cool to me to get a little bit of your story from her, and to have you here, and to talk about it, because it's so cool, man, so cool. So thank you for coming on board the back of the 135 bus. Also, it's good to have you. But man, so we just talked. I met your beautiful girls, and they dropped you off. We just talked about you guys went to the Mana Moana last night.
Yeah.
You guys had a good time there. It was
just very good for the soul, very uplifting. Just hearing, I live in Glendowie, work in St. Heliers, very Palangi, very, Tesla-filled driving environment. So, and, just over the hill, got the cousins in GI. So, there isn't too much brown faces in the area.
Yeah.
So going to that kind of concert and, seeing the Iceman there and, all in the audience, and just the passion and the island music, just how it lifts up us.
It's pretty interesting. Concept there, how they bring the choir, Samoan Island Choir, together with the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra. Have a guy like Tofinga to MC it. He must have been crack up.
Amazing.
Do you remember what kind of jokes he was talking about with was he joking around to the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra?
He's doing just like he must know Fijian, Tongan, he's saying all these jokes in their languages, and it was really funny and just because we watch a lot of his YouTube videos. And, because we were looking after my mother. She was she's got dementia, and we looked after her for almost a year, my family, and then now she's living with my sisters in Sydney. But I used to put the Tofinga YouTube videos on and used to really make her laugh, and just her and him and his partner. What's his name from Wellington?
I know.
Well, he's a marathon runner too. I saw him on Rotorua, and I think he does a podcast, because he rang me up one and said, "Oh, can you chat about your running journey?"
Yeah.
And that was really fun. But Tofinga couldn't have got a better MC for that kind of environment. And my daughter's, my youngest, is finishing her last year, and she's really musically talented. She just finished grade 7 piano and got distinction, and she's been involved. She was originally Barradine. All my daughters went through Barradine, and then she went Darkside State School, Glendowie. But it turned out to be a good decision for her, and she got involved in the music, and she's involved in the choir, the orchestra, and they use her as accompaniment to a few of the soloists. So she's very talented, young Esther. So just seeing her with all that classical background, and then coming to the symphony orchestra, and how it synced in so well with the Samoan music and all the different songs, and Fijian, Tongan, Kukai, Māori, just all that burst of just praise and just glory. I mean, it's glory. Yeah, my wife, she sings in a choir, and it's just night and day when you compare the two. So it'll be hard to see her Christmas choir next month.
Yeah, no, I think for me, like when it comes to classical music, I've got a appreciation for it, and you don't think about it now as when I'm older, but when I think about it back in the days, because I'm a bit of a movie buff and I love movies.
Yes.
And I grew up with like Steven Spielberg.
Oh yeah,
and all that, all his kind of movies. But the composers that he uses for his movies, like John Williams,
Yes, yeah.
and all
I'm a
those
Star Wars fan.
Star Wars, like
yeah.
the music in Star Wars, the music in Indiana Jones. You just know these. You just know these scores, right?
Yeah.
And you love these scores for some reason, but you don't really talk about it. But then it's from an orchestra.
Yeah.
And from now I'm like thinking, man, imagine if I was one of those people in that orchestra, like playing one instrument.
Yeah.
That's part of the whole symphony of the whole song. And to me, that's pretty cool, and like, it's good to see, your daughters wanting to be part of that, or you going to these orchestra shows, because man, I remember, because I share the same love for music and musical scores with a friend of mine. We wanted to go to that Star Wars Empire Strikes Back with the symphony orchestra.
Oh,
playing.
yes.
Did you hear about that?
I was going to go along to that, but I think cost of living crisis, the price of it was too much.
Because that would have been cool, eh? Like watching on
yeah.
screen and having the orchestra play the score.
Yeah.
As the movie's going. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
My youngest really likes the jazz and just a big Stevie Wonder fan.
Right.
And on Netflix there was something about the Summer of Soul. Have you seen that one?
Yep, and it won an award, eh? I think it's the guy from The Roots, the drummer. He produced and directed, I think.
I'm not sure, but yeah, it's the hidden tapes of a concert of a four weekends in the summer of I think the same year as Woodstock, and the white TV networks wouldn't play it, and so it was hidden in someone's basement for like 50 years, and then he pulled it out and just had all these awesome soul singers from back in the day. Young, I think it was 18 years old, Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight and the Pips, and had all this, and just seeing all these, and I think the New York police wouldn't provide security for this, so Black Power provided this security, and they had all this gospel sounds and some disco sounds, and just it was an amazing concert. So definitely watch that.
Yeah, I think that was the movie that won the Oscar for best documentary. I think last year. I think, yeah. I forgot the name of the guy. He's the drummer. Oh, he's a famous guy. He's from The Roots anyway. Can't remember, but yeah. I'll check it out. I never did get to check it out, but I know the film you're talking about. Yeah.
Awesome music. Yeah, just gospel to disco to the Gladys Knight. Just they're all young there, and just and Nina Simone. It's almost like she's declaring a revolution against the whites. But that's just the sign of the times, in which there's a lot of unrest in New York, and just
Because I think in the 70s, New York was pretty rough, during that time,
Yeah.
A lot of crime and all that, yeah. So interesting that came out same time as Woodstock, because as we know in history, Woodstock is the ultimate kind of the main thing, and here we have this other soul thing happening at the same time, and no one takes notice of that. Like, it's not in the mainstream.
That's right. Yeah. The all the main networks wouldn't play it. Just the racial background behind it, unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you guys had a good time at the concert. Yeah. So you did when I did first reach out to you. You told me you were going to New York for that marathon, the New York Marathon. That's the one they do every year, right?
Every year,
yeah. How was that, man? Because that was been a cool trip. Have you done that before?
It was my first overseas marathon. Yeah. I'm hooked. I want to do more. Yeah. So I'm. The reason behind that was that Garth Barfoot, who I coach. I say I jokingly coach him, but I do put a plan together, and he elects to follow or not follow. And he's the Barfoot and Thompson son of the founder.
So he's a big Auckland rugby fan.
Yes. So his firm, sponsor Barfoot and Thompson, the Auckland Rugby, the Blues.
So he's running.
He's running, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I met him, must be when I started my journey 17 years ago, when we did the Auckland Half Ironman. And it was you set up the swim at one point and you got to move, and the bike and run was at another location. So you had to set up your bike and then catch the bus to the swim start, which is like 30k away. Because you start the swim, and so he was setting it up, and I told the bus driver, hold on, there's one old guy still coming, and that old guy was Garth, and
How old is he?
He's 87, so he's 30 years older than me. I'm 57, so it would have been 17 years ago. I would have been 40, and he was 70. Yeah. So.
Right.
And then 17 years later, he's 87. So, back then, he used to beat me regularly. Yeah. And then over the years, I've started slowly being able to beat him. I was 30 kilos heavy. I was about 128 kilos. And
128? Wow.
Now I'm just a light for some 100 kilos. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And that's when you were 40 years old? You were
40 years old, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Was that your normal weight sort of going around?
Well, I was an active rugby league player for Marist. Marist Saints, which unfortunately got their league club rooms burnt down only last week. Yeah.
Oh man, how'd you feel about that? Because that was a big story on social media. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of good memories there. I played right up till I was 34 until year 2000. And I don't think the wife liked me going up the club and all hours enjoying myself. But
that was sad. I mean,
yeah.
Did they know? I saw that it came on the news. Like I saw it was in flames. They had footage of it on fire, and the fire trucks were there and stuff.
Yeah.
Did they know? Did you know what happened? Like, was it arson or something like that?
I don't know. But I saw one of the players' dads I used to know quite well, Hans Wolf, and he had the cross there that they're able to save.
Oh man, all the memorabilia, the photographs,
all the team photos, all the championship photos, all burnt up. So
jerseys, signed jerseys,
all the all the New Zealand rep jerseys, and some of the overseas teams that donated jerseys were all up there, and very sad. Because we always had good players coming through, and Mount Albert would most often steal them. So we always kind of bounced between second and first division.
Right.
And I played second row, front row. I was just a journeyman, not a star, but I did get forward of the year in my last year, so that was my sign off.
Did you ever play Masters there?
I played Masters, yeah. I used to have some good tournaments because it alternate between the Gold Coast and down here. So, but I think when I started my endurance career, I couldn't really risk getting injured. So, I just stuck to doing marathons, endurance swims, and long bike rides.
So, your switch to be a runner, to do these marathons, was just the need to be active, like after your rugby career, your league career?
Yeah, I think when I stopped, I was an accountant at ADHB, and they've got good food there. Subsidised cafeteria. You're working as an accountant, so it's a sedentary job. So you just put the pounds on if you're not doing any activity. And there's a regular running group. They said, come along, we run on Wednesday nights along the waterfront. And I thought, that's nice and flat.
Yeah.
So I tagged along with them a few times, and they said, there's this event we're doing, the Legend Run, which is Arthur Lydiard's old run up West Coast Road, Scenic Drive. And I said,
longer and longer.
Yeah. I said, well, I should give that a go. And they said, no, you stick to your rugby. You're too big. You won't manage that West Coast hill. And I thought, well, stuffed you. I'll give it a go. And so it was a 35k run back then. So I gave that a go, and I was coming last until I saw this older woman ahead of me, and then she dipped in the bushes for a toilet stop, and then I overtook her, and so I was second to last. So
Okay.
yeah,
And you just got hooked.
and just from there, I joined a running club
All right.
because a few of the guys were part of the Auckland YMCA Marathon Club. So I joined them, and then got better knowledge on how to run, how to train, how to do marathons.
All different kind of levels you can.
Yeah, so they had different pace groups. You had your walkers, your fast walkers, your slow joggers, and then they'd do it on kilometre pace groups. Like the walkers would be 9 or 8 minute Ks per 9 minutes per K. I joined the 6.25 minute Ks. The fast group were 5 minute Ks, or the Rat Pack was under 5.5 minutes a K. So yeah, pretty quick. And so I just joined them, and I've been doing about 5-6 marathons a year, and I'm up to 66 marathons now. Yeah.
5 or 6? That's all around New Zealand?
Yeah, all New Zealand ones.
Yeah.
My first overseas one was New York. Yeah.
The one you just came back from?
One just came back from.
Yeah.
So my wife came, and she normally doesn't come to any of my events now, but it was New York, so she came. And my daughter's a lawyer down in Wellington, so she works for Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and 2 of her friends were in the New York office.
Oh, right.
So she, went along with us, and it was really good because her 2 friends, a Solomon Islander and a Samoan girl, working at the United Nations, and got a private tour. And then they were able to show us some places around New York that only locals would know.
Yeah.
And just the ease of catching transport, jumping on the metro, going to Harlem, going to go see some jazz music, and they thought it was a bit dodgy, this area, but as a Samoan guy walking through, it's no different.
Yeah. So it would have been this autumn, I guess.
So it's going into the winter. Yeah. So it's supposed to be a lot colder, but it wasn't. It was fairly warm. And I suppose maybe the Balinese feel it more because they've got less insulation. But I found it quite warm. Some chilly evenings, but I don't really need much covering. And on marathon day, it was really warm. Well, it was 10 degrees start. They say I'll bring all these old clothes, but no, I just had my t-shirt on. And then you get these. A lot of people have their gear on, and then they discard it at the start because then they start running.
Right.
So
so where's the starting point?
The start's at Staten Island. Yeah. So we lived. Our hotel was by Times Square, and so we walked almost a mile to the ferry, and then the ferry takes us to Staten Island, and then you bust to you can catch a bus to Staten Island, go around the long way. We caught a ferry, and then you had to catch another bus to the Verrazano Bridge, which is where the official start is, and then you're corralled in these big pens for a couple of hours until your wave starts.
All right.
51,000 people did it.
51.
And they got 5 waves, so it's like almost 10,000 wave.
Oh, shit.
I was in the second to last wave, 5 to 11.
Yeah.
So that was perfect. It was like pretty warm. And then they sang the national anthem, US, and then and they're just playing New York, New York, and then you run through the 5 boroughs, Staten Island, Queens, Bronx, Harlem, Manhattan, and Brooklyn. It's just an amazing atmosphere.
So you started at Staten Island, and then
you run across the bridge.
To Brooklyn.
To Brooklyn, and it's 1.5 K uphill. It's a steep bridge, and then 1.5 K down into Brooklyn, and then you're running through Brooklyn, and you
up to Queens,
and you got thousands of people lined on the street calling your name. I had my name, Iron Mike. I've got that printed in Onehunga on my running shirt.
So did you
Sarah
run
and
through
school
Brownsville where Iron Mike, the real Mike Tyson?
No, not quite the other. Apparently, we just touch onto Brooklyn, but we don't go through the real Brooklyn. So what one of the locals was saying. But yeah, amazing experience. Garth made it to 30k, and then he got cold. Might be the shadows of the buildings doesn't let the sun through at that time, but I think he pulled out about after 6 hours. So he's running since 9. So yeah, so just after 3, and I finished about an hour and a half later. I did it in 5 hours 25. So
5 hours. Oh wow.
Yeah, I'd done the Auckland Marathon the week before in 5:05, and yeah, I just thought it was a tourist marathon, so I normally take about 80 selfies with the marathon. You know, everyone's saying, "Oh, you'd be a lot quicker if you didn't take so many photos." But look, I'm sharing my journey. I'm sharing my race, and a lot of people say afterwards, "Oh man, it's good seeing the races." And I always take photos with the volunteers and everyone that's out there and supporters. It's great. And you got that Rocky theme, "Gonna Fly High" now, and they had a brass band in Brooklyn just playing it all around. It's just like, wow, it just like lifts you.
Oh, if I put myself in your shoes, like, it would have been. I don't know how I feel being distracted, being a tourist and running at the same time. Like I can't believe I'm running in New York. Running in Brooklyn. I'm looking around. All I see is people running with me, but then I want to see the buildings, and it must have been some kind of. What was that feeling? What was going through your head?
Well, just seeing so many people screaming out your name. Welcome, and different bands, different choir groups, gospel choirs. It's just amazing. It just went so quickly. I mean, when I think about it, it was over. But by the time, the pain was starting to kick in when you hit Central Park. But you're close to the finish, and you just you keep going. And I know there's. As much as, it's sore, it's painful, just, you just got this big smile on your face the whole way, it's just so unbelievable. Unbelievable that there's hundreds of thousands of people line the streets just to follow you, just to scream, just to, really celebrate. And you're there, you're celebrating the experience. And there's one. Oh, there's two others. There's a Samoan woman there, Geraldine. I think she's the chair of Pacific Peoples or something. And there's another. There's a girl. There's a big girl who was a powerlifter, Samoan girl, Julia Belford, and she was doing it as a fundraiser. And she'd never run in her life. She started from scratch over the past 18 months. She did her first 5K, first 10K, and I think she did her first half marathon this year. Big girl, and she finished like awesome. Just she walked most of it, and one of the photos of her at the beginning across the bridge, it looks like she's just on her own. Because everyone had already taken off. Right. And I think that's one of the best photos. She's got the whole bridge to herself. But yeah. This Negro woman who'd done it for like 10 or 15 times, just stuck with her the whole way and just said, "Look, we'll get you through. This old black woman. And it's like, because after 3K across that bridge, she was busting down. She was crying, like, how am I going to do this? And this girl, this guardian angel, this older woman just said, "Look, stick with me. We'll get you through it." Talked her through it, and just so. Yeah, just unbelievable. Yeah. And just hearing her, because I was the flag bearer for New Zealand. So, the group of New Zealanders, and there's a good. It's on YouTube because they televised it live. So it's got me there, and then I found out that Julia was the Samoan flag bearer. So I went and hunted her down and got a photo. So it's just her holding the flag. So I'll check if she's going next year. If not, I'm going to go do the Samoan flag bearer. Yeah.
You going to do it again next year?
Well, because I coached Garth and Garth didn't finish, so I have to.
Yeah. You have to
He's already
redeem.
booked. He's already booked for next year.
Oh,
so,
wow.
so I told my other 3 daughters, because one of the 4 went, so the other 3 can come this year. Or even the 4th could come again. Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing place. We went to see some Broadway shows. I love the Michael Jackson show. So,
Yeah. How was that? Who was playing Michael Jackson?
Oh, there's several parts because, playing him from Jackson 5.
Oh, wow.
Jackson, up to his Off the Wall album. They had that version of Michael Jackson, had the Thriller, the Thriller album. So it had him all different aspects of his life, and it kept reflecting back. So it was the one was of him with his backup just doing rehearsals, and then he'd go back and think back of his upbringing and how hard it was, and how the monster was his father, Joseph. And it was really good how they did the Thriller song, because the monster was Joseph, his dad.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's yeah.
Who wrote it? Who wrote that play?
I don't know, but it's pretty well done. I had Jackson 5 and had him doing the Victory Tour, even right down to when he got his hair on fire with Pepsi.
Yeah.
The Pepsi accident.
Yeah, because I remember that old school. Do you remember that The American Dream, the miniseries about the Jackson 5?
Oh, no.
It came out in the 90s, early 90s.
Oh, okay.
Early 90s. It starred Angela Bassett. She was the mum.
Oh.
And there was another actor that played the father, Joseph. But they had different actors for different age of Michael.
Yeah.
So they had the young Michael, teenage Michael, and then adult Michael. So they had, they reenacted. They had the scene where his hair caught on fire, the Pepsi ad. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look that up. That'd be on YouTube or something.
Yeah, I think it is on YouTube. Yeah, because it's old. It's old. It's a miniseries called I think it's American Dream, Jackson 5 American Dream. Yeah, check that out. Yeah.
Okay.
So is that like a show that's going around the world, or is that just one of those Broadway?
It looks like it's been fixed there, but there must be a version that travels around, like, because there was Wicked there, and there was the Harry Potter. There was 6. That was a pretty good one. That was about King Henry's VIII's 6 wives, and but each of the wives sang their own story in a Beyonce style kind of song, dance and everything. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And we saw Some Like It Hot, which is the old Marilyn Monroe classic. So,
yeah. Who played there? Because are they like real actors, like Hollywood actors?
Yeah, some I don't recognize any of them in there, but that's the old Marilyn Monroe one that did with I think it was Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis, I think, played in the original, 1959 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really well done. But yeah.
Have you ever been to New York before?
First time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how many weeks did you guys?
I went for almost 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd probably do the same. It's just accommodation is really, really expensive. Yeah.
Because whereabouts did you guys stay?
We stayed in the Marriott Times Square.
Oh, right in there.
Yeah. So I think anywhere is really expensive, but we went through Judy Wolf Marathon World Tours, and so if you go through them, you pay a little bit more extra, but you've got guaranteed entry to the New York Marathon.
Oh, okay.
You've either got to run really fast and get a fast time, or go on the lottery and they pick your name out. Because 51,000 ran it, but there's heaps more that get rejected. That
true. So how did you get in? What was
through Marathon World Tours. So
that's automatic.
They've got an allocation of places.
Oh.
They had like 70. We had 50 from Auckland and 20 from around the rest of the country that went on the New Zealand tour.
Oh, so 50. You're part of the 50.
Yeah.
Was there more than that wanting to get in as
well?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a group that came from Indonesia, because they look at the other world travel tour groups that have got allocations, and New Zealand was the only one that had a few spare, so they jumped on our one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you need to, for something that's popular around the world. Because, you were talking about New York City here, the Big
Yeah,
Apple.
yeah. Well, it would be the most popular marathon around the world. I mean, it's the biggest, 51,000. Wow, 10,000 every wave, every half hour. Like,
Oh, wow.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a few burglars there because you're supposed to give the time you think you'll do, and some were putting like 3 hours, and they were like 5-6 hours, but they just want an earlier start. But
Even to think about the preparation for a race like that, like to close down the city streets for that. Like what, the millions of people that live there and all the cars and everything, like to shut everything down there just for the race. One day.
It's
like, man, what a big job to do, eh?
And the security presence is huge. My wife tried to, because we've got a tracker, so I was carrying my phone and it could track me where I was, and she underestimated my speed. I was quicker than she thought I would be, and she didn't quite make it to Central Park, and she couldn't get through the security. The security was just too...
Oh.
They shut down Central Park, so only the runners can get through. So I saw her afterwards, but yeah.
I wonder if that's reaction to the Boston...
Yes, it is, yeah.
Boston explosion, the terrorist thing, eh?
Yeah, Boston 2011 or 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... yeah, it's just, security was just bad, crazy. They've made marijuana legal in New York for the last couple of years. So you're running in the street. Like I was doing a run every day, and you just got the strong smell of marijuana everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
That and cigarettes and cigars. Like there's still a lot of people that smoke, which is, crazy.
Yeah, well, I went to New Caledonia, and, man, you know how it's French over there?
Yeah.
Everybody smokes.
Wow.
Like, even now, everybody, when I say everybody, the restaurant, and the families are smoking, and the kids are there too.
In the restaurant?
Yeah, they're not smoking, the kids, but the parents are. Like, everybody. Like, no one doesn't smoke. It's like, no,
Oh.
It's crazy. Like, and, New Zealand was like that, but back in
Yeah.
the day, we were like that. We could smoke inside. Remember the ashtrays in the malls
Yeah.
back in the day? Remember McDonald's used to have an ashtray?
That's right. Yeah.
The golden one near the in the McDonald's.
That's right. You press down.
Yeah. So but it's funny how it's still the same in other countries, eh? Like,
Oh, I've got to thank, who was it? Helen Clark. Helen Clark put in the smoke-free work zones. And, thankful to this time. I mean, it's crazy that, you go overseas to New York City, marijuana's legal and everyone's just... But, I love the pizzas there too,
yeah.
We flew in on Thursday.
Was it a direct flight?
I missed the direct flight because I stuffed my passport up. Like, I got a new passport in time, but the American visa is tied into your passport number. So, because I got a new passport, I needed a new American visa.
Yeah, because we need to apply now, eh?
Need to apply online.
Visiting.
It's pretty quick, but it meant I missed my flight because I just didn't... Like, had my daughter there and she quickly typed out everything and applied online, and then 40 minutes later...
There's a lady at work, her son, he works in New York. So she was one of the first Kiwis to do the Air New Zealand direct flight.
Oh.
The first one.
Yeah.
And they mucked it up. The very first, it came on the news.
Oh.
Because, they could do a direct flight from Auckland to New York. But it meant, like, they had to lose weight. And they didn't. They had to lose weight halfway through. Like, they had to stop. I don't know if they stopped.
I heard a couple of flights are like that, yeah.
Something happened,
So I missed the direct flights. I'm not sure what that was like, but...
I think they fixed the problems now. I think the direct flights are there again, but...
So the direct flight there is easier because I think it's with a tailwind, but the direct flight back is a problem because it's a headwind, and the flight before us on the Thursday, because we flew Saturday, had to stop in Fiji, fuel.
Yeah.
So it depends how strong the headwind is.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. They had to lose some weight or something. And she had to wait for her luggage extra day or something like that. Yeah.
So is he still there?
Yeah, he works there. So I think she'll be going back and forth.
Okay, if I'm there next year, just tell her son to come do the marathon.
Yeah. No, because New York, man, it's one of my bucket list places to go visit.
Yeah.
Because my relationship with New York is through the movies.
Yeah.
And man, I just want to go see every single movie
That's right. Yes.
background in New York. I want to go. Did you have that too?
Yes. I mean, there was, some of our tour group went through Greenwich Village, where Sex and the City apartment is.
Yeah.
And one of them ran to where the Friends apartment, Matthew Perry's apartment was on Friends and all that, and went down to, it's called Dumbo, which is a name they've given to down under Manhattan Bridge overpass. So there's a little village there, and it's got good coffee, and it's got that Hollywood scene of the Manhattan Bridge. So you see it on a lot of movies, and that spot's there. And we just stumbled upon it, and then walked across Brooklyn Bridge. And
is that like the alleyway? And you see the
alleyway,
and you can see the bridge. And
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of scenes.
Yeah. So we just.
You're just guys were just there.
Yeah, and we were just doing walks everywhere. I mean, we didn't bother with all the big, Statue of Liberty views or. We just did heaps of walking. Did Staten Island, got off there, and there's like dress smart on steroids here.
Oh yeah,
got some new Levi's, 3 pairs of Nikes. It's really good.
The shopping would have been great, eh?
Yeah. And New Balance is the major sponsor for the New York Marathon. So,
how many so the full 50 of the Kiwis went for that ticket.
Yeah.
Well, and you know how is it Gwen, the Samoan lady with the Samoan flag?
Julia Belford.
Julia Belford. Yeah. Were there other Samoans too?
There was another. So those are the ones that got chosen to go on the Parade of Nations. So there might have been others, but there weren't any other Samoans because I looked at the results to see if there's any Samoans.
Oh, okay.
And some of them might have just put down New Zealand, like who's it? Geraldine put down New Zealand at the end.
Did you try any bagels?
Yeah.
What did you think of those? Because I heard that you haven't tried a bagel until you tried a New York bagel.
Well, it was buffet breakfast every day, and to reduce the cost of our meals, I used to at breakfast just put a few bagels and boiled eggs and fruit and all that, and used to take that, and that used to help us. That was our lunch, and then you'd have all this cream cheese and other stuff to put on it. So bagels was our daily fix. And then you've got all these food vending machines. You could get a chili steak dog, corn dog.
What are those like?
Corn dogs was really nice. Yeah, and the Philly steak cheese dog. Just like on every corner, they were pretty good quality.
Is there any foods there that taste you can never get here?
Well, after the marathon, I normally have fried chicken as my reward. So there's no KFC, and I texted my mate who works for KFC. I said, "Hey mate, where's the nearest one?" And then he texted me. I said, "Well, that's not on the marathon course or nowhere near Times Square." And so I went to a place called Jollibee. And Jollibee is very similar, but tasted a lot more juicier. So I gave that the thumbs up.
Right. You didn't go to Popeyes?
And then Popeyes, then went to Popeyes. That was also on Times Square. So,
right.
I was telling him, mate, he's New Zealand KFC guy. And I said, well, he said, there's so much more fried chicken competition in the States. Like, KFC doesn't rank up there. So, it's overseas is where they got the dominant market.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so I ran the New York Marathon a week after Auckland.
Because you wouldn't be still sore though. You used to it. You wouldn't be sore from the.
Well, because you just because I run every day. I've been running every day for 9.5 years. The body gets used to it, and these new shoes now, the technology in the shoes.
Oh right.
Buying a new pair of New Balance 2 days before the marathon. Just the technology now. There's no blisters or anything. It's just it felt. And the thicker cushioning now means your legs aren't hammered so much. So it really absorbs a lot of the shock from, especially being an island size, 100 kilos. over 42K, the amount of repetition on hard concrete, and just the legs felt okay. Yeah, I mean, it's still exhausted. It's a marathon, but
good for the knees too. Huh?
Yeah.
Because I can imagine the knees are the first to like get hammered. When it comes to running,
the knees and the quads, they get really smashed, especially on running concrete.
Right. So between Essex and New Balance, you recommend New Balance?
Yeah, well, I'm a convert to New Balance.
Oh, okay.
You
were Essex before that, were you?
I was Essex before that. Yeah. A few others, they switched to this Hoka, kind of, I call it dark side, like off-road, the trail runs.
Oh, right. Have you done that? That's a popular one.
Yeah, the exteriors, but I'm a road runner, marathoner, and I call them the dark side because, they really love their long distance, 100K, 100 mile. And I said, look, there's no glory in the finish with trail running, you finish, you start in the dark, you finish in the dark, and there's only your wife waiting for you at the finish line, and even she's not happy. So I call it the dark side. I call them Sith Lords, and the Jedis are the road runners. So.
Right. I guess they suck you in with there's nice scenery.
Yeah, nice scenery. Then. And I said, I'm an accountant, man. The cost of a trail marathon versus is like almost double the price. It's like crazy.
I guess the injury is higher, right? Risk of injury, step in the hole or something like that.
Oh, they talk about the cost of traffic management.
Right.
To do all the trails and to pay for some of it's use of private land. So, but I stick to the marathons. It's cheaper and you just need a pair of running shoes.
Yeah. So what pair of New Balance running shoes do you recommend? Like,
that.
What ones do you wear?
1080s, yeah. The 1080s version 13. That's just come out. That was the brand new ones that they had at the expo, and it's got New York Marathon on the shoes. So,
right.
So I went to Dress Smart today, and they got the previous year's version there for like half price. So,
okay.
So I got me a pair of those because there's not much differences between the versions, just the color scheme normally. So there's some good sales on at the moment, and that's where I normally get them, either Rebel Sport or at Dress Smart. Previous year's models, half price. So.
I noticed that about New Balance. I bought my first pair of New Balance a couple of years ago. I never had New Balance before. I think I had Essex before I had New Balance. I'm usually into the normal Nike
is normally
kind of
there. Oh, Nikes don't do good marathon shoes for Islanders.
Well, I was told they're not wide enough.
Yeah.
You get the size, but the wide, they don't get the wide. But I noticed in America, because I went to Hawaii, you get the wides.
Oh.
Not Nike, but other shoes.
Oh,
you get wides.
Yeah. They got the 2Es and the 4Es.
Yeah.
2Es wide, 4Es extra wide.
Yeah. So I jumped into a pair of New Balance a couple of years ago, and man, I felt the comfiness in the heel.
Yeah.
The back heel. I was whoa, this is like...
Yes.
It looked ugly though, but it was comfortable stuff off white.
Yeah.
So I'm a New Balance guy now.
And what kind of runs do you do?
I can't actually run because either hip.
That almost sounds like a policy statement. I mean, everyone can run.
I can run, but I have to be careful because I actually had a full hip replacement.
Okay, so
I can walk. I can walk fast. I can run, but not long enough. I did the
round the bays.
Around the bays.
Yeah.
3 years ago, or 2 years ago, and I actually ran from the start. I stopped running when I got to the helicopter pad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I walked the rest of the way because it was getting sore.
Sore,
on my hip. Yeah. So, and I can run uphill because it's easy on the hip. If you run uphill, if I go downhill, it's not.
Yeah. So Garth's got 3 hip replacements.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there, you can do it. And I would just say that's just probably muscular and some scar tissue that when you're running, it's waking up some of that scar tissue. But with regular, we got Garth into doing Pilates and strength work, and that's made a real life changing in his run posture.
Because I assume, I think he's got hip replacements on both legs. Oh, both hips.
Yeah. He's 2 right hip replacements and 1 left. All of it bike crashes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because me and him were, big bikies, Ironman bikes were 180 kilometres of riding. One of our favourite events was the K2, where you ride 200 kilometres around the Coromandel. And, if you're barling, that's all right, but, there's some huge hills around the Coromandel. So I think we got them to give us an early start, because I think the early start was 7 o'clock. I said, that's not early enough, we need it earlier. So they gave us a 2-hour early start at 6 o'clock. And so that meant, because one year when we finished, everyone had gone home. And so this time we're able to get at least close to when they're still packing up. So but now they've stopped the K2 because, the Coromandel got wiped out with all the floods. Yeah. So you can't go State Highway 25 now. Got to go through Waihi, through the long way. But so Garth's balance isn't too good now, so he doesn't do cycling, and he gets too cold in the water, so he's just a runner now.
So he was doing the full triathlon? Yeah. Wow.
He's doing a full Ironman, 3.8k swim, 180k bike, 42k run, and he used to leave me behind, so I don't really care too much, because I just, as long as I got to the finish line, you got 17 hours to do it, and I would normally finish in the last hour, 16 to 17 hours.
Well, if they said 17 hours, may as well take the whole lot.
Yeah. Everyone's like, rushing to be super fast and that. And, the rewards, if you're in the top 3 in your age group, you get to go to the World Championship in Hawaii. But if you're slow like me, you could do 12 and then give you a loyalty slot. So I went last year. So you got all these super fast guys, and it's in Hawaii, so you're not allowed a wetsuit. It's too hot.
So what, is that right around Oahu?
It's Kona. It's on the Big Island.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's where they had the
volcano.
The fires there. And the volcano, yeah.
Yeah, so they got the volcano. That's with the live volcano. I think it was on the other island that one happened.
Maui, yeah.
Yeah.
The bushfires, yeah.
So this one, last year's Ironman, so I went to the World Champs in Hawaii, and, not super fast. Part of my confidence is muscle memory, I've done this before. The only trouble is it's in Hawaii, there's no wetsuit, and I'm a bad swimmer anyway, so it takes me an hour 35, hour 40 for 3.8k swim, but no wetsuit. Some of them people paid $300 for a skin suit, which is, I'm not paying that for one race. And so it took me over 2 hours to do the swim. The fast guys were coming out in 45 minutes or quicker.
So what does the wetsuit actually makes you faster?
Yeah, the wetsuit lifts you up in the water, so you don't drag. Right. And if you got the island weight, you drag the whole way, so you submerge more, where the wetsuit lifts you up, lifts your legs up, and so you're able to kind of go along that way rather than just drag along, which is my style. But there's this young Hawaiian girl on her surfboard. She said, just follow me. And so I don't need to keep looking up where I was going. I just kept the eye on the surfboard, and so she got me through the swim. And then on the bike, I was last out of the swim. Then got on the bike, and you ride all the way to Hawaii, which is about 80k out from the start, because you do a dog leg and then you go out. And there were I was passing a few people, and there were a dozen people behind me, and I got to the turnaround point right at the top, and then I went and then at the next aid station, which was 15k later, I saw the tail end Charlie guys. I said, what are you guys doing here? They said the others didn't make cut-off, so there's a halfway cut-off. And so, and then the heat, you got heat from the lava, and you got heat from the sun, and you're in an oven, and you're just getting fried, and you can't get enough cold water. Your gels are starting to make you sick, and then you gotta clear your stomach. You're feeling sick, and then you got these tail end Charlie guys, one on the bike, one in the car, going, "Come on, mate, keep going, else we have to take you off." And so I get up to the 120k mark, feeling sick again. Carry on, and these guys are just on my back, just like, and
When they say take you off the rest, you're not racing anymore.
yeah. They've got a sag wagon, and they've got certain times you got to pass these points.
Right.
And if you don't make it, you just get in their bus. And so I'm like
Trying to avoid going.
and then I get in to the bike after 8 hours, and then just get in, and I got to have a rest. Take 15 minutes just resting there, and it's good because you got all the volunteers. You know, you're the only one there. Come out of the swim, you're the only one there. They're all there for you, and same with so they're able to towel me down, change my socks, put my run shoes on, and then they looked at my watch, said, 6.5 hours. 6 hours, yeah, 6.5, 6:40 to do the marathon. I thought, easy, I can do a marathon in 6 hours.
Yeah.
So the first 3K I'm walking, just pouring water, trying to get my heat temperature down, and then I run along, and then get back on the Queen K. And then one of the girls the woman had raced on the Thursday, and she was just saying, get going. Anna McRae, she'd already raced, and then she did the next 30K with me. Like crazy, like I don't think she was even in running shoes. Like, I was just shuffling, and she'd like scream out every time I was walking, you got 30 seconds to walk, and then you got to get running again. And so she was saying that to me periodically right through, and they got me through to the finish line, and I was able to take in the last 7K out. It was a bit more flatter, and so then I just started getting a good run on. It's after midnight, it's still pouring cold water on me. It's still very hot. And I just able to pass 3 people in the last 5K. And I was going, wow, I am going well. And then got to the finish line, playing Michael Jackson, had to do. So, looked up to the air, thanked the Lord, did a bit of a break dance, and then just, finished.
At that point, was that the hardest one?
That was the hardest and the best race of my life. Yeah.
Best because you finished.
Best because I finished, and just having all these guardian angels through the race. That's how you're not allowed to pace her, but she wasn't pacing me. She was standing behind me, and so she's just screaming out orders. But I think I still owe her a thank you lunch for that one, actually.
So coming out of that race, like, what did that teach you about yourself?
I just I always had a faith that I would make it. I don't know how or what was it, but there's just all these guardian angels right through the whole course, through the swim, through the bike, through the run. And even though I was sick, it was just to clear my system out, and then reset, and then get back going. So and I'm always kind of a master of pacing. I said, okay, I've got 10K, I've still got an hour and a half left. Okay, 9-minute Ks, keep going, 8-minute Ks, and then just in that last couple of K, I felt like Forrest Gump, this little group running alongside me, going, come on, you're amazing. And going, I don't look amazing, I don't feel amazing, but they just got me through. And then they just had the huge crowd at the finish line, and that was just unbelievable. And then they had the winner of the race, put the prize on you and congratulate you, and said, where'd you get that energy from to do break dance like that? So New Zealand Samoan. Yeah,
man, wow. Because I can always think when it comes to being in the race, it's competition, right? You got to be the first or second or third. If you're last, then you're last. But I think with races like that, I think people do understand it's all about beating yourself, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's all about the challenge of finishing the race, because you don't really hear that much, but I think people know it's about finishing the race.
Yeah.
Hey, when you talk to kids, they're like, I want to be first, I want to be second. Don't want to be second. If you're not first, you're last, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But for a tough challenge like a triathlon or whatever it is, marathon, for individual people, like just to finish it is a win. You know,
Yeah.
it's winning the gold medal. You know, because if you think about what you have to do, you know, think about all the times, all the chances you got to give up. You know, how many chances?
Plenty chances.
You could have said, "Oh, nah, that's me. I'm out." You know, that's enough. Nah, but you didn't. You just carried on, and then until you can't carry on anymore because you crossed the finish line, there's nothing else to do because you already got to the finish line. It's like the feeling, you know, is amazing, eh? And I think I felt that feeling when I won a game of basketball or won something, you know. But a basketball game is only 20 minutes each half. A game of rugby is only 40 minutes each half, you know.
Yeah.
But a triathlon, that's a whole day. And, you know, it's like playing a whole day and winning at the end of it. It's like, that's something different, eh? That's a different kind of thing, eh?
16 hours, 59. Yeah, that's, yeah. As long as you swim, bike, and run before then.
Have you done the triathlon before that?
Yeah. So most of the triathlons were short triathlons. And swim, bike, run, like a 500 swim, 20K bike, and a 5K run is a general sprint triathlon. And so there's 4 races a year in Auckland called the People's Tri. So I do that every year.
So for beginners?
For beginners, they do the Tri, which is a 100-meter swim, 10K bike, and a 3K run.
Oh, okay, I'm pretty sure I can do that.
Yeah. Anyone can do it. So it's like, and the 100 meters is at waist high. So if you're not confident, you could walk the swim.
Oh, right.
And the bike's 10K, so it's one loop. Mission Bay is quite a nice course because it's flat and fast. And the 5K is just to Kahu Bay and back. I mean, in fact, there's a good one next week is the Iron Māori Tri, and that's done at Okahu Bay. And you know, there's some big competitors there who walk it. There is completion is their goal. I mean, people that win it are normally the Palangas that are in there that come on their flash gear, their flash bikes.
Yeah.
But, you know, you got the brothers and the sisters there on their mountain bikes and their walking shoes, and they just enjoy it. And some parents and their kids doing it. And yeah, it's a really relaxed, encouraging, supportive environment.
And because you've been doing it for 17 years now, eh? 17 years. Yeah. Like from the start, you could see you're like only Pacific Islander doing these things. And what's it like now with the participation of Pacific Islanders? Is there a lot more now?
Yeah, there's now a Mangere cycling and triathlon club.
Oh, right.
That does regular training on by Mangere Bridge. They're based there, and they do a bike run. And you know, they got people there that are in their 50s, 60s doing it, right to the young kids from school. So they're a group that's encouraging and inviting, you know, any Pacifica to go along. And there's some that show up to the People's Tri and give it a go. So now you're seeing a lot more brown faces, and with the increase in Iron Māori, that's really brought that up to be more of a choice to do, and just how encouraging it is. I mean, the only thing would be just, you know, the cost of it, you know, cost of a bike. It wouldn't be many Pacifica in doing Ironman because it's such an expensive sport. I mean, the half Ironman and the Olympic distance are at least, you know, $100 and you could do it. The Safa race, which is the Rotorua half Ironman, that's $250. So that's cheaper than you know, the half Ironman in Taupo is like $400. So yeah, it really ramps up the price. And Ironman to like $1,000 now. So
was it? Oh,
there won't be many people Pacifica doing it because it's just the cost prohibits it. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll keep buying those lotto tickets and then offer scholarship to people. Yeah.
So Ben, but you managed to do these races though every year, like these 5 or 6.
Yeah. I think doing Ironman's cheaper than buying a fancy sports car or having an affair. So I mean, it keeps me sane, keeps me grounded, and my run streak, running every day, stops me having a drinking problem because, you know, I used to do the all-night benders and that, but, you know, if you know you got to run the next day.
Yeah. Do the old hangover when you come to the game on Sunday for Masters, eh?
Sunday for Masters, yeah.
So, man, you weighed 130 around there?
Yeah.
Man, how long did it take for you to maintain?
I think it just started gradually coming down with the marathons. Like my first 3 marathons, I came last in Auckland, last in North Shore Marathon, and last in the Wanganui one. So that was just, and my measurement of success was different from probably everyone's. Mine was just, okay, let's get to the finish line. The finish line, and then you get your reward. You treat yourself, you know. Have some fried chicken, have some beers. Quite regularly after my big races, I have a DMT, which is a Donut Medal Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So my favourite cafe is this Japanese cafe in Glen Innes. It's on the border of West Tamaki Road and Ashby Ave, and they do great cream donuts. Yeah. So like after New York Marathon, I posted, okay, I've got a DMT coming up, Donut Medal Thursday, so bring your medal. And if you don't have a medal, come admire ours. And then, generally shout any newbies a donut and a coffee. And it's just sharing. One of the old guys from our club, Mike Austin, is a legend who's in his 70s, and he tells me about the old days of the if you didn't run under 3.5 or 3 hours 15, you didn't bother racing because it was too slow. Now most people are I think the average runner takes between 4:15 and 4:30 for a marathon. So
the competitive ones,
yeah,
4:50. Oh, okay.
So my best marathon time is in Taupo a couple of years ago, and that's 4:29.29. So
you're right up there.
So my ace card, I tell everyone, is my weight. You know, I'm 100 kilos now, but you know, get down to a Balangi 90 kilos. Well, that's heavy for a Balangi. I can easily see an hour come off that running time.
Right. Is that one of your goals now?
One of my goals, yes. Yeah.
So nutrition must be a big thing for you now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I enjoy my food.
Yeah.
I enjoy, that's probably one of the big things is my reward system, you know. Why not have a bucket of KFC after you achieve a marathon finish?
Yeah.
Just don't eat it every day. Don't eat it in the weeks leading up. But if you have it as like an end goal, and then, the nutrition side, I'll be eating a lot cleaner because that's the way to get the weight down.
So what's your routine meal leading up to your breakfast, lunch? Do you do 3 meals a day, or do you fast in any way? Or?
No, not really fast. Generally, I have a coffee in the morning with a couple of toast, and then I have my cafe catch up with run chat with the owner. Tim Jones is a avid runner and trail runner. And he does good bacon and egg baps. So I have a bacon and egg bap with my coffee. And that's generally lunch, and then dinner I normally run from work, or I do my run in the afternoon, and that's just the 5K. So I've got all these kind of set groups I could join. Monday is the Morton's run from St Heliers to Mission Bay and back. Tuesdays run at the Fox and the Viaduct, and that's a loop, and then that's the way I thought. That's a loop run, and then you got a beer after. Wednesday is the Pigeon Run, and that's Pigeon Racing Club is a pub in St Heliers, and that's one of my favourites because you run from St Heliers to Mission Bay and back. That's a 5K, but they've got big bottles of Lion Red. Yeah. So there's not many pubs around that still serve big bottles of Lion Red. $11, that's the same as a small pint of Carlsberg or. So you buy a big bottle of Lion Red for 11, and that's a few glasses there. And so Wednesday normally, it's a 5K run, but give my money's worth. So I run to a Kahu Bay and back, and that's a 10K run.
Right.
And coming back from New York, I've lifted up. I've been walking like 20,000 steps with my wife and daughter, like looking around, just visiting places. So I came back like 99 kilos. Like I lost weight. I thought I'd be like 105 because of all the bagels I've been eating and pizzas. But yeah, all that walking. And now like I'm running 58 minutes for the 10K. So might be the new shoe technology or just, yeah.
It's important, eh? I've come to find with myself lately importance of exercising and try to eat healthy. I don't normally eat healthy, but I try.
Yeah.
But we do have these boot camps at my work. Like my boss, he's got his personal trainer to come and train us every lunchtime, twice a week at work. So we do that. But then I know it's not enough. I need to like do something every day.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So I was thinking, I heard on social media, because you always find these things on social media, always out there. It's like every time you have dinner, go for a walk.
Yes.
Like that's the best. Like that's kind of what like the best things to do.
Yeah.
Like after dinner, go for a walk for half an hour, and come back, and do that every single day, and it's you may as well,
Helps your digestion, helps your sleep. So I try and advise when I'm talking to my fellow Pacific, go for a walk after dinner. It doesn't matter how long, and then just make it a little bit longer every now and then. I mean, the important part is developing the habit. So once you get that habit going, then you can stretch it out.
Yeah, that's the thing, the habit thing was a real important habit. Because we talked about it on the podcast before about when we had the conversation about doing these weight loss challenges that are around.
Yeah.
Our people love these weight loss challenges because there's money at the end of it.
Yeah.
But then the only problem is when it finishes, we stop doing we stop carrying on and we do the next 8-week challenge when it comes up again. But the point is you did it for 8 weeks. You're supposed to carry on
Yeah, the hard bit is if it doesn't become a habit, it's not sustainable. So these 8-week challenges are like yo-yos, You're good, but is it good because there's an end point, or thinking the long game, incorporating the habits to make it sustainable. So yeah, I've got I did Wellington Marathon. I do that every year because my daughter lives down there, and so I'm trying to encourage her to do the half. She did the 10K with me when I did the marathon. So last year I won a Christchurch Marathon entry, so that's for next year. So that's my goal next year, is to go fast. Yeah.
Is there any race in New Zealand where you run the whole length of the country?
There's a bike race. There's the Tour Aotearoa.
Yeah. Is it every year, that one?
Yeah. Around March, April. It's kind of you organise your group to support you. But there's normally a group of, and it's normally about in March. Yeah. But the run, there isn't really a run. That's kind of self-supported. There's been the odd one that does it, person following them in a camper van, and they run it.
I was thinking before the bike lanes they're building in Auckland, especially the ones along the motorway. You think there'll be a running race across Auckland? There might, some might organise or something like that.
In the old days, there used to be Wellington to Auckland race.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. They used to go from the Central Post Office, Wellington, to the Central Post Office in Auckland. That's what I heard back in the day when it was really popular.
Yeah, that would have been tough, eh?
But then, those guys are running 20K a day is their norm. Because they say to be a good marathoner, you got to run 100K a week. I mean, who's got that time?
I read David Goggins' book, his first one.
Oh.
Have you read it?
Heard something.
Yeah, something
You
like that.
can't hurt me or something.
Can't,
cool.
yeah, can't hear me. But when you talked about there's this marathon. It's not a marathon. It's this running race in USA that takes 5 days
That's the Badwater, or the
across the desert.
dungeon.
Is it?
Yeah, Death Valley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like crazy. That's crazy.
yeah.
And the pain he put himself through, like he was in pain. Like he described, his legs were all like, I know someone ripped the skin off his legs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
like, and he couldn't even move, and he had to get carried off. Yeah, to get carried off, he didn't finish it. But
I saw some of
it's crazy.
Yeah. And some of it was self-inflicted because it wasn't like using good training advice.
Yeah,
Like he just went out, like some of his Ironmans he did, not really, not having the right equipment or the build-up. Like there's a whole lot of preparation plans to get your body ready for it, but he just throws himself in the middle of it,
And that's why he's crazy.
Yeah. And
but to see his weight before, because he was big.
Oh yeah,
he was a massive guy.
Yeah, he was
Wow.
massive, and then
Look at him
yeah.
now.
So that's that. So that's what I say is my ace card is my weight.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying running marathons at 100 kilos, but once I get down to 90, I'll be more on fire than I am now. So.
So would you say your motivation is that your health? And because it's fun?
My motivation is the number 62, which is when my father passed away of heart disease. Avoidable because he just didn't look after himself well. He in his later years he couldn't stand. He was a fitter and turner mechanic, and he couldn't stand for long periods. So he had to get a sedentary job. So he became a taxi driver, and so you're just sitting in a cab all day, doing long shifts. I remember he used to drop off white lady burgers to us when he finished his shift in the morning. Like, it's awesome, but that's the kind of food that was available to him at that time. And so, a very smart, intelligent man, but just he passed at a young age of 62. And that's only 5 years away from me. So I want to be there for my family. I've got 4 beautiful daughters, my wife, Elizabeth. So I want to be around. And so many people of my age now are having a lot of health complications. Cardio, a lot of it is just they're not active. Circulation. So running every day gives me that motivation to just beat that 62 number, and be around for my kids, my grandkids. So my aim for running every day is the run streak record of 54 years. So I started when I was 9.5 years ago. So I'm going to be beating it when I'm 99.
Right.
So 54 years. So I'm on target. So it's just running every day. It means you can't drink all night because you got to run the next day. So that's my motivation, just to keep active. And a lot of Pacifica people have come up to me and just said, we've seen you on Tainga Pacifica. We've seen, keep going. You're doing, and they cheer on when they see I've done some result. And now doing New York Marathon, which is the start of my overseas Big Six. So there's Abbott's World Major Big Six Marathon Series.
What's that?
So it's the 6 is New York, Chicago, and Boston are the 3 American ones. Then Tokyo, Berlin, and London are the 3 other ones. So I want to do that every one a year or one every 2 years. And then you get this big Abbott's World Major 6 Marathon trophy. So
For doing all 6?
For doing all 6.
Oh, wow.
And they're looking to increase it by adding Sydney. So
so 7.
So just jump across the ditch, and so next year it's a 3-year trial period. So next year's trial year 2, and then I'll do it in 2025 when hopefully it becomes Abbott's World Major.
Mm. It's good where you brought it up about your motivations, because I'm 45 now, and already, close friends of mine have already passed.
Yeah.
For heart problems.
Yeah.
And just people I know from school, like I see it on social media, I'm like, oh, he passed away. Like,
yeah.
it's like, what the hell? It's the same kind of age.
Yeah.
And I've got kids too, and it's just, it doesn't hit you until things happen like that.
Yeah.
And when a good friend of mine passed because of his heart, you think, oh shucks, are we on the stage now?
Oh.
I'm not even like,
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
45.
Right.
We're not even in our 40s, man. Like, hey, this is that time now. And then, you see it too, because my uncles and aunties start going.
Yeah.
And you think about your kids, and then you think, okay, I think it's time to start doing something about it. Slow down on drinking, slow down on eating too much junk food and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think when you think about it, start thinking about it. That's the first start. But then action and stuff. It's good. My boss does this boot camp thing at work. I can like jump on that bandwagon,
Yeah.
and try carry on, and yeah, I think that motivation for just staying alive, when you hear, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, and one of my main podcasts I listen to is Joe Rogan, and he talks about having his community mates come over to his gym, and he does workouts with them, and they're having the same things too. Like, they're getting old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're seeing the same things too around them, like people passing on. And he's saying, well, come do 2 workouts a week with me. We'll do hard out workout for half an hour. Maybe we'll add some years to your life.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just him saying that, adding more years to your life, I was going, hey, what? Well, just by doing exercise. Yeah. Get your body some resistance training.
That's right. Yep.
Get your sweat on, like, do stuff that human body was supposed to be doing every day. Because technology these days, working in offices and working in the car, you're sitting down, body's not doing anything. Like, the humans weren't doing that back in the caveman days. We were always out doing exercise, even out before cars.
Yeah.
Or before we knew horses, doing outside work. It's in the Bible, man. Like,
Yes.
men go outside, do their outside work. And the woman, look after the kids, be at home.
Yeah.
But because we're outside doing the work, being physical, we live longer to protect the family, because it's all about the men to protect the family. Those old school kind of ways, But it's in the Bible. And then it gets deep, but I think fundamentally, when you realize, it's all about having a longer life. That's what it's all about, to enjoy with your kids and that. And that's the ultimate goal, for your health. Because we always talk about how, like, we've got this other podcast called Empty Out the Clip, where we talk about stuff around the world. Like, we hear about, like, people protesting about stuff, all that kind of stuff, and
Stop oil.
stop the Palestinian thing and all that kind of stuff, or anything, anything about being woke and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, hold on, like, you're wanting things to stop around you, but what about at home? Like, what about yourself? Because people are being activists for other people, but are you looking after yourself? Because if you don't look after yourself, you can't look after your own family. Like, if you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, it has to start with yourself. You have to look after yourself. You have to make sure you live longer. Because by doing that, if you're a man, that means you can protect your family a lot longer.
Yeah.
So I think all that kind of stuff, I think about. And it's, and just hearing your journey with the reasons of your why. There's reasons a lot of people think too, but don't action. It's easy to get caught up in life, have fun, and be with your friends and with your family, and but not think about the future in that kind of way.
Yeah, it's playing the long game. It's saying Do you want to be the typical Pacific Islander? Very fit and active when they're young. Then they become family people and they become inactive. Their eating habits don't change and they're still big. And then as a result of all these avoidable things, they're a burden on the health system when they could not be. It's a choice thing. And it's been attitude-wise and just, I'm trying to encourage my kids, be bothered to do things, be bothered to be active, to get out there and not just, you can give all the advice and that, but if you're not following it, if you're not being the example, if you're not being, the light above the table, then it's hard for them to, okay, he's asking us to do something he's not doing himself. It's like, yeah. And trying to encourage people, regardless of whatever activity it is, it's being active. It's being in the habit of being active, having a positive attitude to get out there and encourage others. I'm always encouraging people to, whatever result they do, good race, well done, champ. Good on you, keep going. If anything, I may not be a star runner, but I'm a star motivator. I'm like, in every race I do, whether I'm at the back of the pack or in the middle, I encouraging people coming the other way, or just like, keep going. And one of the good things of having Garth, who's right at the back of the field, is I'll finish my race and then I go back and bring him back. I see that as an extra 10k warm down after a half marathon. So yeah, it's all extra. Yeah, and I'm sort of like his driving Mastasi, the Negro chauffeur who goes around and just make sure he's okay at the end of his race. And we've become steady good friends as a result of. And, he's retired now. He's been retired since he was 81, so it's 6 years now. And he's got a positive attitude. He's every morning from his rest home in Birkdale, he walks 2.5k to his coffee place and has his ginger slice and coffee. Whenever I join him, I go, okay, yeah, I'll have a big breakfast. Yeah. Okay. I come all this way just for a coffee. But yeah. So... we've done 5 marathons with him this year, and he hasn't finished any of them. And I was going, man, this is really taking my coaching reputation a hit here. But when he finished 30k in New York, and it wasn't seen as a failure because he got as far as he got before he got cold, and he said his main goal was to not fall over. I said, it'd be nice if you shared the goals with what my goals were for you. But yeah, he didn't fall over, so that's the plus. We had him on a Pilates and strengthening program, so it's really improved his posture. But I think he's amazing guy. His older brother lives in a rest home just down the road from me. And when my kids first met him, because everyone had heard of Garth with his endurance Ironman and all that, but they hadn't heard of him. They had heard of his older brother, Chris Barfoot, because Chris Barfoot was the Bible school teacher at Glendale Primary, and so Chris is very religious, where Garth is the opposite, and so whenever I'm with Garth, I say, look, the Lord will provide, mate. The Lord will provide, and so he sees me as just as support man, and he does call me his coach. He's been in numerous magazines, and thanks to my coach. So he's 87 and he's going back. He's already booked for next year's New York Marathon. So I have to be there for him. Yeah. So he'll be 88 and he'll be chasing the oldest finisher. So he would have been the oldest finisher, but he didn't finish. So there's a guy who's 2 days younger than him that finished. So
finished the whole thing. Oh,
the whole
wow.
thing, yeah. It took him 9 hours 45. So that's the kind of timeline we're looking at now for Garth. But he'll have a full year of Pilates and strength training to get that sorted. He doesn't drink enough water either. I told him he doesn't drink enough water, doesn't get enough hydration, and he doesn't have enough insulation. So he needs to eat more fried chicken. Yeah. But he'll never take that advice.
Pilates. I tried that once. I tried that for a week. There was a free class in Ponsonby, and we'd just walk away from my office. And I found it real cool.
Yeah.
This was before I had my hip operation, but yeah, if Garth's doing it, this is hip operation. I can do it too.
Yes.
Just don't cross my legs.
He's got his Pilates physio person's got a reformer machine, so there's a whole lot of stretching and so it's more than a Pilates class. He uses this equipment stuff, reformer. So
do you do it? Do you do Pilates?
I haven't yet, but that's on my list.
So I know it's the core strength.
Yeah, I do a lot of planks.
Right.
Planks, and I was doing 100 burpees a day for a month.
Man.
That's hard work, yeah.
What about during the COVID lockdown? We doing the challenges?
Oh, yeah.
Were you doing those?
Yes, yeah.
How was that? What was that like for you during the COVID lockdowns? Like I know they encourage us to go for a run every day. I just walk around the block like every day.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. Yeah.
The COVID lockdown was quite good because I had the family home, and my wife really got into her home baking. So we used to have some beautiful bread and coffee on the deck, and because we live in Glendowie at the bottom of Churchill Park. So Churchill Park is like a 100-acre reserve that can't be built on. So it's like living in the country. And the cows occasionally rotate to our section of the park, and it's really nice. Good. It's only about 1.5 km wide and long, so it's a easy run I do every now and then.
Easy, a nice place to stretch your legs too. For family and stuff. That's a good spot. Far. So when's the next big run for you? Race for you?
Next one is the People's Triathlon at Maraetai next Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to do the Iron Māori try at Akau Bay on Saturday, but I'm seeing Alison Rowe. And, everyone knows her. She's the famous Kiwi girl who won Boston Marathon and then New York Marathon. So she was helping us out doing a program and giving advice for Garth in the New York. And she lives up in Matakana now, and so she said that she'll host a New York Marathon post-race celebration.
Post-race, okay.
Yeah, so that's up next week up at Matakana.
On the Saturday?
On the Saturday.
Oh, okay. And you're going to get back down here and do the...
And then on Sunday, I'll do the People's Try at Maraetai.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't celebrate too hard on Saturday.
Yeah. And then after that is the half Ironman in Rotorua. That's third week of December. I was going to fly to Whanganui and do the marathon there, but my oldest daughter's birthday that weekend.
Oh, right.
She'll be a young 25-year-old. So, the birthday celebration is important.
I went down to Whanganui for the first time last year. My son was playing in the basketball competition.
Oh.
And it was based down there. So I had to take some days off work and go down. And
yeah, they got 3 bridges there. That's where the marathon is. It goes in number 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Man, that was a boring town, man.
Yeah. I was last there. Even the walkers beat me in that marathon. Yeah,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, that is such a boring town, man. I'm never going back. So, hey, if you're going to have a competition down there, I'm not going. I'm staying up in Auckland, man.
Yeah. Well, my brother used to have a house there in Castlecliff.
Oh, okay. Oh, up on the hill.
It's on the...
Because they got the hill with that little castle thing with the lift that goes down.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a water tower.
Oh,
yeah. But Castlecliff is on the beach side, and it's... It's got... Is it the Headhunters or the... Some gang members are down that way. And they bought... And just past that, they built a Remuera type suburb there.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to go through the rough area of Castlecliff where my brother was, to this new flash area with a golf courses.
Yeah.
He's moved to Coral Glen now, but yeah, he used to live there, so we used to go to Wanganui every now and then. But yeah, there's not much to do in that town. Yeah.
Nah, I found that out hard way. Never again. But nah. So this is like the season of marathons now, eh? Like
Yes.
end of year, like
Yep.
our Christmas holidays, sort of January, February.
And January there's our club marathon at the Auckland Domain. So that's people say it's a boring one, but it's 8 5K laps. So you can see why. But and it's hot. And that's called the 8th Continent Marathon because scientists have recently said that New Zealand is on this huge mass of land called Zealandia, and that counts as a continent. So yeah.
Oh, and I saw that.
Yeah.
It's like they sort of like X-ray vision of the under the water, eh?
Yeah. So
does it connect to Australia?
So Australia is another continent, and Zealandia is a separate continent. So yeah, so they're counting that there's 8 continents now instead of 7 that we learned growing up. So these crazy Americans start in New Zealand, and then they do the marathon, which we host, and then they fly to Perth and do another marathon, and then they fly all around the world to do 8 marathons in 8 days in 8 continents. The last one is in Antarctica. Crazy,
Antarctica?
Yeah.
How do
8.
you run on ice?
Yeah. They've got another marathon there they do, but yeah, so 8 marathons. I think if you got to spare 35,000, you can join them. Yeah, so that's a lotto type kind of entry fee there.
So remind me how long a marathon is in the K's?
42.2 kilometers.
42.2.
Yeah, or 26 miles.
How did they get that number?
They got that number because in I think it's the Olympic Games in London. It was 26 miles, but because the king at the time wanted it to finish in front of Buckingham Palace, they added 385 yards for it to finish in front of the Buckingham Palace.
And that all adds up to 42.
And that adds up to 42.2, 26 miles, 385 yards.
All right, and the rest is history.
Rest is history. It's about a 25-mile course from Marathon to Sparta. That was the original name. It ran from Marathon to Athens, I think, was the original one. And the guy went to deliver the news that they won, and then he collapsed dead from exhaustion.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, we'll make a race out of this.
Yeah.
So, man, you've done a lot of advocating for health and fitness by running.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of... I know you've been on Tongues of Pacific on that. How did they approach you? Was it just through the amount of races you were doing over the time? And
one of the
people taking notice? One
of the original founders or directors is John Cook Islander. So he did Ironman when I was doing it at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I kept going. So he's always kind of kept in touch with me. And then and the other guy, Stephen Stelline, he's the executive, he's the big boss there. And then he found out that I was going to Hawaii, and they wanted to do a story on that.
All right.
So originally they did it 10 years earlier on my first Ironman, or that I'd been doing Ironman. And then this follow-up story was because I'd made it to Hawaii. The network news stories was one on my run streak, how I'd been running every day for, I think it was 7.5 years back then. And then Auckland Marathon, through their production company, wanted to do a story on me because of my run streak. It's more news of a Samoan running marathons than a Palangi. So
So what kind of response have you been getting from this?
Some good reviews of just people generally. A lot of people know me through the running and triathlon circles, Athletics New Zealand.
Because it's a group, it's a small group of, what would you say? You guys get together every year and everyone knows each other? Especially the ones that always do it every year.
Well, because I'm a good networker, or I get involved in everything.
Yeah.
I'm in a whole lot of different groups. So I'm in Tri Group, Athletics New Zealand group, the Marathon group. I was part of the ocean swimmers, but I don't do too much ocean swimming now. And they used to have, photos on their website of me on there. So it's I suppose I just keep on and I'm just always an encourager. So I'm never going to end up on the podium or being one of the first ones. But then I always say, well, I am the first Samoan. But now that I'm encouraged to see there's more Samoans and some that are actually decent runners, decent fit people. Like, I enjoy the journey. I enjoy the camaraderie of the mixing with my fellow athletes. So it's more about me enjoying it, getting as many selfies along the course, showing it to people, posting it, and just seeing some Pacifica people that are out there big and they get to the finish line. That's just inspiring. And you don't have to be a superstar athlete. Yeah, so I'll look forward to seeing you on your first 5, 10, 21K event. And so hip replacements certainly shouldn't be a roadblock to you doing your first. Yeah,
because I did see there's an NBA player that had a hip replacement and he's still playing.
Oh.
He played after his hip replacement. So, man, technology must be really good right now, eh?
Well, you can do marathons after, You can do your first half marathon,
Well, when I got mine because either I was in Samoa and I was living there in Samoa and I got an infection of some sort. I don't know how I got it. I started on my foot. I had I thought it was gout. But it turned out to be an infection, and the infection traveled up to my hip and ate away all my cartilage on my hip.
Wow.
Just completely gone. So it was just completely bone to bone. So I had to come back to New Zealand and have an operation. But they gave me a hip where I was the first to get it here. It was a hip where you can get 3 hip replacements in one leg. Because before that you can only get 2.
Oh.
You can only get 2 because how they put it in, they have to dig a hole in your leg bone so they can put the hip in and attach it to your hip. But when you get your second one, they have to dig deeper into that bone. But you can't go the third time. You can't go any lower because of the knee. So you can only get 2 in your whole life. But until now, I got this new one where I can get 3.
So that's every 15 years, isn't it?
Every 15 years. Well, they say 15 years, but if you look after it, they will last longer. But they say 15 years. So it's all about strengthening your ass muscles and getting your core and all that, sort of that.
Getting the gluteus active.
Yeah.
Gluteus maximus active. Yeah.
So because I used to play basketball because that was my sport.
Yeah. Who was your team?
My team right now is Miami Heat. Miami Heat. Yeah, Miami Heat's my team. But that was the only way I could exercise. Cause I ran sometimes, but basketball was my main sport to exercise.
Yeah.
Now that's kind of gone. I got nothing now, so I gotta figure out new ways.
So rowing probably wouldn't be good for it either, eh? Rowing.
Well, they said I can't cross my legs. That's the only thing I can't do. So I can't do yoga.
Oh.
I can't do yoga. I could probably do Pilates, but I can't cross my legs. Because it will pop out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think it's I think because we do these runs because our office is down a hill. So when we do these hill,
are you on College Hill or Franklin Road?
Just off
Summer Street.
No, just off K Road. What's off streets? They come down, but downhill.
Edinburgh, Hell Street.
Nah, across Gundry.
Yeah,
down there, down the bottom there. And then, but we do our boot camps down the bottom of the street.
Oh yeah.
And we do these hill sprints.
Oh nice.
So it's hard for me to run down.
Yeah.
So I just walk down.
Yeah.
But it's kind of easier for me to run up.
I
don't know why. It's easier, so I try to sprint up.
Yeah.
But that means I can only run uphill.
For now.
But isn't that the best way running uphill? I'm like, fuck, gotta run uphill. Yeah.
How big's your work? How many staff?
It's about, I think, 19. 18, 19.
And how many Pacifica?
Just me.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just been me ever since I've been here. There's not many Pacifica in my industry.
Yeah, there's a couple that, one was at Lushka Khan. Are they still around? Lushka Group?
They're in Ponsonby, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Samoan guy there. English dad, Samoan mum.
Yeah.
He's more of I think he's a draftsman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Wilson. Yeah.
Mm.
Mags boy. He's about my age. And,
Is that your old school? Did you go to Mags?
no, St. Paul's.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, when was it? It's 40 years. 83 I graduated. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
Is your family from Central?
Yeah. So my dad came after the war in, I think, 48. Age 22, and he was working as a studying fitter and turning. Yeah. And then he...
there must have been not many islanders coming
No,
that time.
no,
in
not
the
at all.
40s, eh?
Yeah. He's the oldest of 13.
Because that would be just on his own accord there now. Not
Yeah. He
no incentive to come here.
stayed in a boarding house in Herne Bay. And
Oh.
then a few years later bought the boarding house. And his first wife was Croatian, had 6 kids.
Mm.
And the Croatian wife didn't like the island lifestyle or the hitting, so she left with one of my dad's workmates, who's an Aussie guy.
Oh, yeah.
So my mum, the house girl, came over to look after the 6 kids,
Yeah.
and then us kids started happening from that relationship. So there were 7 from my mum's side, so there were 13. And
Big family.
yeah, yes. So and my dad had 13. He was one of 13. He was the oldest, and then he helped bring over and establish his brothers and sisters' families here. And then the first half of the family, the first 6, 5 of them went with the first mum to Australia. We grew up there. And the 7 and the youngest of the first families were brought up here in Herne Bay. We went to the local Catholic schools, Marist Primary, Marist Brothers, Vermont Street, and then St. Paul's, and my sisters went to St. Mary's. And then went to uni, and then worked as a McDonald's manager for many years. You go to the McDonald's parties, go for McDonald's girls, and you fail your commerce, so you have to go back and finish it off at Tech. So I did my accounting degree, finished it off at Tech, and then got a job at Deloitte's, worked as a chartered accountant there, and then switched to BDO, worked as a senior at BDO, and then went contracting, and then got a job at ADHB as management accountant, and then the hospital accounting manager, and that's when I met the running group there. So and then in I think 2009, I decided to go out on my own and set up my own little accounting business. Samoan guy Mihalovic, he had a spare office in Onehunga, so I went and used one of his spare rooms, and then the landlord put up the rent at his Onehunga premises. We moved to St. Heliers, and then his marriage split up, and he started coming to the office like a homeless guy. I said, "Hey, this isn't good for our clients." So he's still there, and I then moved up offices just up the road, kilometre up the road to St. Heliers, and then started partnership with James Butterworth, and he's an old King's boy, and just went and been there since 2009. I know, been there 8 years now. So it's a good place. And just my house is 2 k's down the road. I often take 5k to run home. But it's good because before my daughters went to Barradine. The youngest switched to Glendowie, and they've all done quite well now. The eldest is lawyering down for Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Second one's action policewoman. Third one's second year commerce. She's just at an internship at MB. And the youngest is the star piano player. So I'm not sure. Well, she's got into engineering, so she's going to start engineering next year. And I suppose that's the beauty of my job, is that I'm just up the road and I'm always available. Any school stuff, I'm there. And one of the good things is I used to drop them off to Barradine once a week and go have a cafe breakfast with them and just, get to know what's happening in their lives. That's another big thing. I never saw my parents growing up because they were working 2-3 jobs. So that's one blessing that I have, is that, I can still see my girls, see what's happening, see what's happening in their lives. There isn't too much that they can't know, that there's support from their mum and dad. Probably the family time is probably the important thing that I want to stress. So as much as my health and lifestyle is really active, spending time with the girls is important. My wife was working as the office manager, and then COVID made her look for another job. Just to, so she's the rock that keeps the girls all grounded, and having just a solid base for the family. Girls, you can see them just thrive. I'm still waiting for one of them to join me in a marathon. I'm hoping New York next year.
I think you brought up an important point there. Like, it's not only health and fitness, but it's about time, spending time with the family, spending time with your daughters, which is true. And we've had many conversations on the podcast about work-life versus time at home, sort of thing. And with technology these days, and with what Zoom can do after COVID, working from home, and a little bit of flexibility now people can get. You could have a work-life balance, work-home balance, but that's if your job can enable you to do so. Yeah. Like, if you have your own business, then it's kind of hard because you got to keep up with it. Otherwise, it's going to go down. No money's going to come in to pay the bills and all of that. But but you've been in the corporate sector for a while now. Have you seen any changes around work-life balance now these days?
There's a lot more stress now involved. There's work from home and that, but I'm just seeing in a lot of my fellow professionals, stress is getting to them. One of my good colleagues, he was working just huge hours, and then I found out he had passed away, just burnout.
Oh, really?
And he'd ring me regularly, just saying, look, there's so much going on. His wife had passed, his mother had passed, and he had one 12-year-old, and I think it just his heart gave up. We used to play regularly. He played for Pakuranga Rugby. I played. We used to have good senior B games against him. He was fairly active, but and that's when I thought, well, he lost his mum, he lost his wife to cancer. Just his whole family support systems wasn't there. So if there's anything I was just to make sure that you got strong family support. I've done 99 Ironman, 67 marathons, but none of that matters for your. One of my big achievements is I'm still married to the same wife. Ironman is a big divorce breaker, because it's a selfish sport, and it's very much about me, because they want to be seeing Ironman finishing and all that. But so I think time with your family is just making memories, just spending the day to day, like take my girls to Otara markets. Because there's that thing about there's this fancy Samoan restaurant in Parnell now called Tala.
I saw the article, the new chef, Samoan chef,
and it's like pretty awesome. And then my daughter said, it's a Palangi thing. I said, what do you mean? It's $215 for an 8-course setting or something.
Is it like a degustation?
Yeah. I said, well, okay, let's do the Samoan market equivalent. So we went to Otara markets and just got some of the nice meals they got there.
Yeah.
Got some coconut buns, some mussel fritters, fish fritters, and they throw an egg on it. Just really yummy, and the steak and onion egg rolls. And it didn't quite cost that much, but I can see the market they're aiming for. But just from a business viewpoint, how is that sustainable? Like, it'll be tough. And I think, well, obviously it's bringing up the memories of Pacific food, but in a fine dining setting. It's almost like the opposite of what Pacific food is meant for. For a start, I thought, well, it won't be island size, but but they're a different viewpoint. And then I think as Palangi wife is, I suppose, the business manager behind it, so you can kind of see the angle they're coming from.
Yeah.
But once again, I'll be there once I win a lotto, but not at this stage.
Yeah, because we got Michael Meredith. He's the Samoan chef that owns that.
He's at the Sky City, isn't he?
Matsida, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Named after his mum, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was been around for a long time, that guy. He had Meredith's in Dominion Road.
Dominion Road, for many years.
Degustation there. Then he did, I think he did pack lunches for schools. And then he opened a restaurant in Parnell. Oh, not Parnell. Britomart. Now he's got that Sky City one now.
Yeah, I think I went to the Britomart one. Went with a few of the other island accountants. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because they've got the... I tried to go there one time, and but they're all like booked out. But they've got this seat at the bars kind of thing that you can book extra. You sit at the bar, and the kitchen's right there. Just eat there, kind of thing. But being a counselor in that's one of the jobs. Every Samoan mum dad wants their kids to be like. The other one has been a lawyer. Doctor or accountant's the third one. That's like the main three.
And I told my dad I want to be an artist because I was really good at illustrating. I was a Marvel Comics fan.
Yeah.
Used to do a great Ironman and Spider-Man. Does not do accounting. You can't feed a large family on art. I said, okay. So I'm a reluctant accountant.
Yeah. Oh, so you're one of those ones that just, I'll do that. What do you say? Because I had Mikhail Mornipula on, and he's that artist, Samoan artist.
Oh.
He draws for Marvel. Oh, he draws for WWE.
Wow.
And he just finished a gig with Disney. He drew a cartoon movie. He was animating.
Wow.
Just drawing for them. So he just got back from LA. Oh, he's doing it from here, but he was contracted to Disney in LA. But he's an artist. He's a comic book guy.
Gee, that would have been my dream. That would have been my
Yeah, but he's also a wrestler too. He's a wrestler at the New Zealand Wrestling. He's a wrestler. He's a comic book artist, and he's a gamer.
Wow.
And he's going around the world doing all that kind of stuff. But
that's the dream job. Doing what you love. Yeah.
Yeah, but But I don't think he makes too much money though.
Well, yeah. So that's. I mean, my other option was to become a teacher. I think I'd be a great teacher. Just my encouraging my people person skills and that. But then how do you survive on teacher's wage? I mean, it's
that's the thing.
It's the hard bit.
Yeah, even anything to do with in the government sector, there's low pay kind of stuff. Unless you're lucky and get to live in New York. Working for the UN.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. But what's it like being a Samoan accountant? Being one of the three things that every Samoan parent wants their kids to be.
Oh, it wasn't too bad. My graduation at ATI was in 91, and I was at the Sheraton Hotel, and my mum and family were all there. My dad passed away in 86. So 91, I shook the hand of Sir Edmund Hillary. He was giving out the prizes and that, and the awards. And then I got a job at Deloitte's. And I was wondering how I got a job at Deloitte's, and, a few of my island boys didn't get in. And I said, "Oh, what's your name?" "What? Michael Stowers." I mean, it's very, very... yeah. I thought about it. I thought, oh, yeah, because...
That's until you see some Stowers in playing rugby.
Oh.
And then they went, "Hey, he's brown. Another brown." And then they're brown.
yeah. Well, Stowers is a big Samoan family.
Yeah.
And then I got the job at Deloitte's and then BDO. So that was all, following the proud parents. But you still got this missing thing in there that, like, okay, yeah, I'm ticking all the boxes, but there's still something missing in there. Interacting with people is probably parts of the job I really, really like. I've got a lot of small business clients, which is good, but that's from the business viewpoint. It's not from... One of the jobs when I worked at ADHB, I switched to finance for a while, and then switched to the Pacific Health, and I was there for a 1-year role. And that was one of the best things because I mixed with Pacific Island Health. So I went out with the churches and set up these programs. That was part of our project, was Healthy Village Action Zone, and that was going out to the churches and giving these grants to set up healthy gardens, giving them, each of the churches $5,000, I think, and then they would use that to buy tools or stuff to help set up their gardens at their homes. And doing that work, and then also setting up some screening, primary care screening for cardiovascular, getting some early detection. So that was really helpful because you went and mixed with the Pacific. We went out to a lot of the South Auckland churches, and then just me being there, that I got presented with this big tapa cloth. One I hung up at home, one I hung up at my office. So when you come to my office, St. Helens, there's a big tapa cloth as you walk in. So it's really, just show there's some brown in the Eastern Bays area.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably one of my more rewarding roles. Was there? It was only a 1-year role, but and then I went back to finance. But that's probably something I'd be more interested in. I mean, numbers are numbers. I mean, they don't jump back at you and like. But yeah, it helps pay the bills. But there's still something missing that this chapter isn't over from the work career anyway.
Yeah. Would that be like trying to help Pacifica business?
Yeah.
Because I imagine there's a lot now. There's a lot more Pacifica business now and here than there were ever before. There's ever been before. Yeah,
so there's a number of Pacific business network groups. I'm part of the Pacific Island Chartered Accountants Network, and which we're trying to encourage more Pacific Islanders not only to choose accounting as a career, but to also complete the degree and then complete the professional papers. Because a lot do a start, but they don't get to the finish. And then networking with them, being mentors, so from when they graduate to finishing their chartered accounting membership, to then get into some corporate roles, or starting their own CA practice, because there's a really growing number of. Well, there's always been small Pacific business ventures, but now there's some seeding grants available now to get them up and going. But I suppose working in that space will probably more appeal to me than the tax returns that I'm doing now and small work. Yeah.
That just sounds so like overwhelming to me, the tax stuff.
Yeah.
How it changes every year, the laws and that. Like even now with the new government, I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Be a lot of changes. You guys will be real busy the next few months, I guess.
Well, they're yeah. So I go to a monthly accountants group in which they give an update on economic forecasts and the government changes and what that would mean. And so they just said, oh yeah, that's good. It's really good for small business. Cost of regulation is lower. Ability to deduct interest now. I mean, previous Labor government to stop deducting interest was crazy. So yeah, I mean, I suppose the good side is it's more small business friendly, and just the bad side is, they're getting rid of fair wage gap. I mean, that's the first piece of legislation they're going to get rid of. I mean, paying a decent wage or a living wage to your workers shouldn't be something that they look forward to getting rid of. I mean,
because man, unless you know the true numbers out there, it's always the point of views of, because when, for example, when it comes to the minimum wage and raising the minimum wage, right? You get the argument, oh, okay, then all the bills of businesses are gonna go up. The businesses won't survive. So it's like a no-no kind of thing. Everyone's scared. Yeah. Like, and you put that out there, business owners are gonna go, oh, what the hell? Oh no. But don't they know what's best? Don't they know what they get and get out? I mean, you're not. Who are you trying to scare? Are you scaring the people that don't have businesses, that think that if their work is gonna, if your wages is gonna go up, your work's gonna say you're gonna lose your job? Is that what they're putting out there? You know what I mean? Is that what they're putting out there to everyone when they say this sort of things? Because I think business owners know what a fair wage is. Yeah. No one's gonna happen. I mean, I'm sure if you're a business that has to pay minimum wage and you're worried that when it goes up, you're not going to survive, then what kind of business are you in the first place? Yeah. Weren't you making, is this a good business model?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I hear what the narrative is when they say it's bad, then what they say is good. It's good for the workers because they get more money for poverty and all that kind of stuff. But then it's like, okay, I get that. And I get the business side of things where, okay, their bills are going to go up. Yeah. So what is that any of that true? How true is both arguments?
Well, I think the fair wage gap is saying that we should have a living wage where by changing the immigration laws, they're allowing a lot more migrants in, which if they get rid of the fair wage gap, it doesn't apply to the migrants, so they could pay the migrants a lot lower rate. And just look at the poor. A lot of that's affected the Indian population. Look at those Indian liquor barons that have those poor Indians that are working there all sorts of hours, not getting, and in the hospitality business. So yeah, it's not protecting them, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking at it from the migrant view, or the minimum wage standard, because that reflects a lot of where our Pacific people are. But yeah, so unless it's dictated that there's a minimum wage, employers will just ignore it.
The other thing is, the other narrative is, okay, if there's going to be a living wage, then everything else is going to go up. That's the other thing that they say, right? Because if businesses know that people are getting more money, they're going to up their price level. Is that true?
Well, they're going to... The wages are one thing, but putting prices up, I mean, if their service is good enough, they can put it up, but, customers will vote depending on the price and the service. So, I mean, if it's too high for what they provide, or if the service isn't up to standard, or the product isn't up to standard, then
no one will buy it. It's a trust in the people.
yeah.
It's a very you're actually gotta really think about all the stuff what they put out there, what the media puts out there.
Yes.
When it comes to election time, this what's scaremongering or not. Like especially with the whole crime thing. Okay, there's ram raids happening. Okay, there's crime. Okay, there's drive-bys now. Gangs are getting worse because of the 501s. All of that, we get it, but they're like splashing that with us. They're splashing everything. House got shot. Then all the news has to tell everybody about it. Yeah. You hear it everywhere, so it gets people scared. Then they come with these policies. Oh, God, we hard on crime because of this. Like I get it. It's election time. Yeah. You gotta hype people up to vote. But see, for me, okay, I don't. There's too much smoke out there.
Mm.
You know, I want to vote according to what's best for me and my family. Like, what's the best policies out there? See,
Yeah.
I'm not those ones that vote Labour because I'm Islander.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. You know, I'm those ones that look at the policies. Okay, what's best? Like, I voted for National for John Key because he said he's going to bring down tax, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I got screwed. You know,
Yeah.
he stole my vote. You know, I'm those kind of guys. Like,
Yeah.
You know, but now it's kind of a little bit harder now because you don't know who to believe.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose I looked at the policies of those who look after the vulnerable populations. So, yeah, that was the main emphasis I had, and discussions with my daughters. I mean, what affects the young people. You know, my eldest was down in Wellington Central door knocking for the Greens. I mean, yeah. So yeah, the good thing is that my girl's a bit more involved, more wanting to hear their voice. So that's what's important part, and it's good all my girls voted. But yeah.
So I guess what I'm talking about is like with you working in the accounting field, like with helping small business and that, like if we want to empower Pacifica to start businesses, are we in a good space to do that?
Well, there isn't one Pacific MP in government at the moment.
Yeah.
Paul Agnes just got missed out, and the Te Aratu MP just missed out.
Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because of the... Yeah, you'd think they would have... Yeah, I'm not sure how much involvement the current government will have with the PI. They just seem to be following, well, what's best for business, which might be good for the PIs, but generally from a wage viewpoint it isn't. But yeah, it'll be just, people voted them in, so you've got to get around and support them, because that's our government of the day. But yeah, I mean, if we each all work hard in our own area, that'll improve a lot for everyone. I mean,
because I've always thought, like, with National Party, it's always about small business. It's always about business and the economy. That's what they've been all about since back in the day. But I always thought that, once our people get to a point where we do have businesses, then National should be on our side, right? Because they'll help us.
Yeah.
Like, I know Labour's been for the working man. They've always been, and they've helped our families, our parents when they came from Samoa here. That's why that's why our parents love Labour Party, because in the 80s they were long era, like, and he was the man, like, we I think we strived under Labour, under that, but there has to come to a time when we have to go past all that.
Yeah.
Like, our kids are gonna do better than us. That's what we hope. Next generation do better than us.
Yes.
So when that happens, once we get more, like, once we go into the generational wealth kind of thing, and we get higher, like, maybe our grandkids will be in a better place be born into a business, a family business,
Yeah.
Then we'll be in a place where the National Party can be for us, because we're already up in their areas, sort of thing. And I think you're seeing that now, because the amount of Pacific Islanders that support National now, there's a lot now.
Yeah, and National would favour the homeowners, of which the Pacific Islands is a very small percentage of homeowners.
And that's another thing, the home owning thing. Because once you buy a home, then you're in that. You're in that level now.
Yeah. So that's why it'll be hard for Pacific, because our ownership percentages are so low, and the current house pricing structure. I don't know how my 4 daughters are going to afford a house in Auckland.
And they just do the old remortgage the first house and get another house, that kind of thing.
Yeah. My friend's daughter just bought a house in like Flaxmere. You know, they had to go out of Auckland to buy. I suppose it's lucky their jobs could move with them. But yeah, it'll be a struggle. It'll be, you know, how do you get them? You know, we're lucky because we've got a house, but you know, all my other Pacific people be lifetime or renters.
Yeah, that's the step we need to get out of.
So till there's adequate supply and the price comes down, it's still a generation away. But yeah, be interesting in the next few years. But yeah, I'm sure to be positive. Yeah.
So you're on Instagram. Where can people find you?
I think it's Iron Mike Samoa.
Yeah.
Iron Mike _Samoa. So generally my ones are just typically of my run day or my donut
but
day.
it's good though. You get all the likes, you know.
Yeah.
People get up and run after they see your post.
Yeah. Normally my daily run or if, my aim is to qualify for the Boston Marathon, and you've got to run 3 hours and 30, which is just on 5 minutes a kilometre. So I'm kind of running 6 minutes a kilometre at the moment, so I've got to lose a whole minute. So if I lose 10 kg, that's doable. Yeah.
Oh, so that's good to have those requirements so you can test yourself before.
Yeah.
And then you can... do you enter just like the way you enter the New York Marathon?
Boston Marathon's a qualifier, but I could go through a marathon club, Marathon World Travel Club. So they've got allocated places. So, so next year I've put in for Berlin. I'll go back to New York. But yeah, so Berlin's a lottery, so they'll let me know in a couple of weeks when they do the draw. Yeah. If not, then it's not. Then I'll do New York again. Yeah.
Berlin.
And you don't need to run New York, okay? You could walk it. Look at that Samoan girl, you know? Unbelievable.
17 hours? You can walk the whole thing
in
17
hours?
This
is the marathon. The marathon, she did in 8.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was the 17-hour one?
Ironman.
Ironman. Oh,
yeah. 4K swim, 180K bike, and a marathon run. Yeah.
And that was Hawaii,
Yeah, Hawaii. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's the Taupo one that's done every March. So I'll be there next year for the 40th anniversary. So that'll be my 17th New Zealand Ironman.
So you did that one. Is that what's the main one in New Zealand? Ironman. What's the
Ironman New Zealand.
Ironman New Zealand.
Yeah.
Where did they have that?
First Saturday in March every year. Yep. So
in Taupo.
In Taupo.
Oh.
So I've done it every year since 2007. Yeah. So 17 times. Yeah.
It's because you've conquered the Hawaii one. It's no sweat. The Taupo one.
Yeah, it's no sweat. Yeah. I mean, I do Taupo on mainly muscle memory now, so I don't really train that hard for it.
Right.
A few runs, a few swims, and maybe put in a few bikes beforehand. But I don't do as much training as I used to. And you got 17 hours. 17 hours is plenty time. Yeah, you could walk the marathon. The bike. It's a 2-lap course, and the first or second lap, 20k before the finish line, they got the aid stations, and one of them aid stations, one of the volunteers had had a camper van, and so I got off my bike, sat down next to the camper van, they had a little table and chairs there, and the old lady was coming out with coffee and some jam muffins. I said, "Oh, you got any spare?" I said, "Oh, would you like one, dear?" I said, "Yeah." So I sat down during the bike race and just had a coffee and some jam and cream scones. Yeah. And then got back on my bike. Because you got the time. So.
Right.
Yeah.
How many bikes passed you when you were eating yours?
Oh, it would have been hundreds. Yeah, but because you're not too worried about it. everyone's pretty much trying to be as fast as they can be, where I'm just a journeyman. I've done this before. I'm just ticking the box, another finish.
Another finish,
Yeah.
yeah. There's something good about that. There's something peaceful about that.
You're enjoying the journey. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a hard day, but, when you haven't done as much training and you rely on muscle memory and you just, I've done this before. Okay, it's a bit harder because you're not as fit, but, you can still get it done. So, I haven't been on my bike for 6 months, and I've got a triathlon next week. So I've got I'll probably get on the bike on Sunday and, do a ride from St. Heliers to the bridge and back. And
can you feel yourself getting fitter and fitter over the years? Like over those years you started, you can really feel it?
I can feel it because I weigh myself most days, and I've got one of those Garmin watches, and that's got a Garmin Connect dashboard on your computer or on your phone, and it just tells you what your heart rate is, what your fitness level is. Like when I first started, I was like, I think my heart rate was in the low 70s, high 60s. And now my resting heart rate is like 42, 43 beats per minute. And that's every I always get a full medical checkup on my birthday. And, they will say, well, that's a really, really good low heart rate. Like, and that's just from years of running slowly longer. Every year I've built it up, so your average heart rate's gone down to, so most, I think Pacific Islanders would be in their 60s, so to get a heart rate of low 40s is like, this guy's pretty fit. Yeah.
Well, how many, so we're getting Islanders now doing runs at 60 now? You're getting more of them? You've seen them? You've seen that?
Yeah.
That must be good, eh? And do you talk to them? You
see another brown person there. You go, hey brother, how's it going?
How do they find what are most of their stories coming to turn to running as a thing to do? Just seeing someone like you?
Yeah. Some of them said they've seen my journey and they've encouraged to start running. And others just follow me on Instagram and they see, I just keep on going and they have a go. And a lot of them just do it, they try it once and others regularly see them because there's a lot of run series they have throughout Auckland now. There's the Run Auckland series, 5K, 10K. They've got the half marathon series, which is 6 half marathons over summer. And they got, your weekly fun runs. Park run's a big fun run they do at a lot of the parks in Auckland. Cornwall Park's my favourite because it's got the best cafe. The muffins and the donuts there, quite nice with the coffee. But I enjoy it because you can enjoy a meal afterwards with them and just chew the fat and just say what you've done or say what's coming up and just I'm genuinely interested in people's health journey and I'm always asking my fellow man, how's your health? How's your well-being? When was your last checkup? What do you need to do to get back to get active? Because the last thing you want to see is more, especially now, 40s, 50s. I mean, are dying like and they shouldn't be. It's avoidable. Obviously, prayer power is a big thing in my life. I'm a regular church attender. Go to the local Catholic. Normally go on a weekday, but there's been a real shortage of priests. So I've been going to St. Ignatius and St. Heliers, and that does a quick 25-minute service. So I get my spiritual batteries recharged.
Yeah.
Try and read Word for Today every day. I suppose faith's a big part of it. I think COVID's really hit a lot of the church congregations. My daughters aren't regular attenders anymore. Just trying to, I suppose, keep the faith. I mean, I think a lot of my races are finished, a lot of prayer power, a lot of prayer powers involved. Just you just always be grateful. Always be. I'm just very fortunate with all the guardian angels in my life. So there'll always be super fast people, but I'm the one who's smiling at the end of it because I've what's that Bible quote? You've run the race. You've done them. Yeah, it's one of my favorite quotes. You did your best. You run the race. You've kept the faith. Something along those lines.
And you finished the race.
Finished the race. Yeah. But if you don't finish the race, you still did well. I mean, his object not to fall was So we're looking forward to him. He's doing the Rotorua Marathon, which is the 60th next year, and that'll be my 15th Rotorua. And I join a exclusive club of people who have finished 15 or more Rotoruas, and they call that the Rotorua Survivors Club.
Okay.
So they have a dinner every night of the marathon, and they celebrate, and they give you a polo shirt with Rotorua Survivors on it. So I'll be getting mine. So I'm part of that. Yeah.
Well, nice, brother, man. So inspirational, man. So inspirational, and you're right. You're a real advocate for health and fitness. And even when I reached out to you, I don't know if you remember, but the first text you gave me, "Are you running? Are you running?" Or when you spoke to me on the phone, Said, "Oh, did you run last night?"
Yeah.
No, I didn't. But I feel like I need to now. But man,
just walking. I mean,
just walking. Yeah. Walking after you have dinner. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Go for a half an hour walk.
This is a good area. There's hills everywhere.
Oh, there's a nice lake over there. Like you can just run around.
Oh.
And there's a hill. You can go up the hill too. So I was doing that after I eat.
How big's the lake? Half a K walk, or is it?
Yeah. 500, 600.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go around. Yeah. And there's a hill. Go up the hill too.
Oh.
So no excuses, man. No excuses.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I appreciate you, Michael, and what you're doing. What you're doing, because you've inspired me. Like, just listen to you, like, talk about health and fitness and your journey and why you're doing it, your why, and it just reminds me why I need to continue doing what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
and
doing it for our families.
Doing it for our families, man. And even though I've got a bad hip, there's no excuse.
Well, yeah.
Because Garth was 87
Garth,
and he's got 3.
He's got 3 hip replacements, and it's just a matter of... I don't see it as an issue at all, because you can build the muscle around it. You can build, you can strengthen it. Getting the weight down will mean there's less load on the hip. So, there's 1,001 ways you Google, okay, how do I make a stronger hip, You come up with a million ways of what to do.
Yeah.
And I suppose it just comes down to attitude and being bothered, just like, okay, I want to make that change. My favorite Michael Jackson song is, Make That Change, Man in the Mirror.
Was that your favorite one? Man in the Mirror?
Yeah.
I like that. I Love You song. I Can't Stop Loving You.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, thanks for coming on board the bus, man.
Cam, it's a pleasure.
Nice to have you, man, and good luck for your races to come. The one in South Auckland, eh?
Yep. Got the Rotorua Half Ironman. I've got Marae Tai, and then the big one in January is the Domain Marathon, and then Ironman in March, and then Rotorua Marathon. Yeah, it's and looking at my PB. So currently 100 kilos. So by March, maybe 90. Yes, 10 kg over 3 months. So it's doable, 3K. Yeah, but that comes down to... but, if you enjoy your food, and Christmas is always a tough one because you want to celebrate. You don't want to make an excuse of, I'm on a diet. Like, this is one of the worst things, when I'm catching up with people and they go, I'm watching what I get. Look, I'm Pacifica. We celebrate through food. So, that's offensive. You're not eating anything. They're just having a short black there and going, you're not sharing. So, like, yeah. So often, just order something.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Malos.
Out.